Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. Today is a little bit special episode because I finally got my SKRS shifter. It shipped in yesterday and I've been using it a little bit and I thought it was too good to not do a video on. Technically, I'm not going to do a video on it. I'm just going to do a normal American Truck Sim video with it. I do plan on making sort of a kind of a review. I don't really want to call it a review. I'm not going to give it like points or anything. I'm just kind of a overall, talking about the product and stuff like that. But for now, we're just going to drive with it. So currently, let's go over before we start talking about the shifter and everything. Currently, we're in Battle Mountain, Nevada, and we are going to be taking 22,000 pounds of a road roller or a steamroller, whichever you want to call it, all the way to San Rafael, California. And we should be getting about $8,500. And it should only take us about 9 hours. It's 347 miles, so it's a little tiny trip. It should just be one episode, hopefully. If not, this episode's going to be pretty long, but I plan on just getting one episode out of it. So, like I said, I got my shifter. I've been really enjoying it. It is so much better to drive a truck with an actual shifter. This thing is amazing. One of the biggest improvements that I've seen on just driving with it without even thinking about it is the simple fact that I can turn and shift at the same time so much easier. Before, it was such a difficult task because you had to shift and hit the button for the splitter that was on the steering wheel that obviously while you're driving is moving around a lot. So it is so much easier to be able to drive a truck with a shifter where you can, change the splitter and everything and all that while you're turning. That's probably the biggest improvement that I've seen, or that I feel while driving the truck. Other than that, it's a great feel to have in your hand compared to just a normal shifter, especially the G27 shifter. The G27 shifter, the stock one, is very oh Jesus, dude. The stock G27 shifter just has a very plasticky feel, and to have something that's based off of a real shifter, I mean, this is a real shifter, it just has a circuit board in it. To have something real in your hand compared to that very plasticky, sort of fake leathery feel of the G27 shifter is just, that's probably a really big change right there. It's just the simple fact that you can feel the difference in your hand. But yeah, I haven't had much time to play with this. I've done a couple runs here and there. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna set cruise control for a second. Okay, I've done a couple runs here and there for the most part, just trying to get used to it. I mean, like the biggest thing, like I said, is going from hitting the button with my left hand to swap gears to just having it on the shifter. But I really do enjoy it. I think it's really cool. It was super easy to set up, and that's even without SCS's support for the shifter yet. They're gonna put support for the shifter, but even without it, it took, I don't know, 5 minutes to set up, if that. It was very simple. The videos they included on their YouTube were super informational and helpful, and just made the process so much easier. So yeah, I really like it. I really like it, and it's made American Truck Sim just feel so much better, and it's made me want to drive just so much more realistic and confident and smoother and everything compared to just having that old standard shifter, which, yeah, wasn't the, like I said, wasn't the greatest feeling to have in your hand, especially when you're driving a big old truck like this and you know that the shifter should be in a position that, it should be in a better position than it is, and it should be a different feel. Quickly, we're gonna get some fuel. We're gonna get some diesel before we go into the scales. All right, let's go and just get into neutral here, turn the engine off, start filling up. But yeah, so just to know that you're doing it properly instead of like the non-legit way of just hitting a button on a fake steering wheel. Yeah, sure, the steering wheel is still the G27 steering wheel, but to have that real shifter really makes a big difference. Just inertia level, pretty much. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull into the scales here. Get weighed up. Also, I figured there was some confusion on the part of the scales. 55,000 pounds. So last time I said, you know, my weight was what, 78,000 pounds or something like that. And I said, oh, well, I'm only hauling a 44,000 pound trailer. And people are like, well, yeah, because your cab too, obviously. Well, I know that. I know that your cab gets included. But I just don't know how much the cab weighs. So that's the only reason why I said, oh, well, 44,000 pounds. To kind of get a general estimate of how much the cab weighs. I wonder if I can go on the scales in this game without the without a load. I don't know. That'd be something that'd be something to try, I guess. But yeah, so that way I want to be able to know how much the cab weighs. I don't know how much an actual Kenworth W900 is, especially, you know, with a sleeper and all that. I don't know the weight of something like that. I wish it would tell you. That'd be really nice. But I want to know what American Truck Sim, how much American Truck Sim considers the weight for the W900, because we've learned that sometimes it's not 100% realistic in terms of weight for certain things. So I would like to see what SES thinks. How much the W900 weighs. Sorry that I'm all over the place. It's early morning. I actually woke up early because I went to sleep early. Been having a lot of issues just getting a good night's sleep lately. The fire alarms in my complex have just been going off randomly for the past like 3 days, and we've been trying to figure that out. And it's just been a pain because it went off at 3:30 one night, then 4 or 5 in the morning. Just, they've been going off all the time randomly, and it's a pain. And then the other day it went off at 9:30 in the morning. So I was just up since 9:30, and I had gone to bed at, oh god, I was up playing Uncharted 4 all night. So I had gone to bed at, I don't know, about 5 in the morning or something. So I only got like 4.5 hours of sleep. And then just decided to stay up, and then I was up all day, running around, doing all sorts of stuff, making videos, all this. So I got a really good night's sleep last night, woke up early this morning, and was going to attempt to record an LSPDFR, which I know some of you, well, the people that want LSPDFR are never going to make it this long in the video, but for those of you that actually watch my American Truck Sim, the reason why there's not an LSPDFR, the game just kept crashing repeatedly. I couldn't figure it out. It kept just I would get in, played for about 5 minutes. As soon as I would take a call and try to respond to anything, it would just crash. So instead of digging through LSPDFR files, which is the last thing I want to do on a Friday, I really want to go and just relax, get ready to take my weekend off, make sure everything's uploaded and done. I figured, well, I really want to play American Truck Simulator. I wasn't really feeling LSPDFR in the first place. Oh god. This is going to be interesting. Okay. God, the shifter. I love it so much. It is such... Oh, man. If you're big into American Truck Sim, buy this shifter. Trust me. You will enjoy it. Speeding offense, because I'm trying to get back up to 70 because we're still in that 30 zone. Somebody also said in one of the videos, ticket simulator. I can agree. Yeah, I was getting a ton of tickets, and apparently that's the new thing. I'm just gonna get a bunch of tickets all the time. But yeah, so you know, I just wasn't really feeling like playing LSPDFR. I really wanted to play American Truck Sim, so I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna play an American Truck Sim, talk a little bit about the shifter, and I'll fix LSPDFR on Monday or something like that when we get back into it. But yeah, it's just early, and I typically don't record this early, so sorry if I'm just kind of all over the place. I've had my coffee, I'm just trying to get it. Maybe it's already working and I'm just too crazy. I don't know. My brain is very strange. I have a very strange brain. It's always constantly hopping around the place. Probably ADD or ADHD or something, but whatever. We'll let it go. But yeah, so that's why there's not an LSPDFR. Also, if you're wondering if anybody here watches my long dark videos, on Monday there also won't be an LSPDFR. It's just going to be 2 long darks. So there's information if you want it, if you care about the long dark series, and if you've watched this far and if you care about what happened to LSPDFR, which you won't. But, you know, you'll just comment and go, where's LSPDFR? In the first 2 seconds in the video, not even care about watching it and hearing if there's any explanation on why it's not there. Also, if a lot of you are ever wondering about schedule, if a video doesn't come out or if it's replaced with another one, the best thing to do is follow me on Twitter, because I typically tweet out, hey, this video is not going out, it's going to be replaced by this one, or this video is just not going to go out at all, there's going to be a gap here. I typically do all that on Twitter. Another way station. All these way stations. But yeah, so I typically do that stuff on Twitter. So if you want to follow me and get more information, Twitter's going to be the best bet for you. All right. I love downshifting this thing. I really don't mind coming into the... I really don't mind coming into the way stations when I can... That means I can downshift. All right, so... I think... We're gonna have to be going up a grade here, which is actually pretty good. This is a pretty decent run that we'll be taking, because this is gonna be going from pretty much like, what city are we? Reno. This is gonna be going from Reno to into like Truckee and stuff, which is in real life a very steep grade, which is nice because it means that I can really work on the shifting the truck and using the splitter, getting into the high and the low gears and everything. And I haven't had much chance of doing that. The splitter, I don't know if I'm shifting the truck right to begin with, to be 100% honest with you. I am skipping gears just because, why wouldn't you? I don't know why anybody thinks, first of all, since I got this shifter, I've been really trying to figure out what gear works best for me, what I like starting in, what I like shifting into, what gears I like skipping, you know, what works to get to what speed, all that stuff. So I like working all that. I was working all that out. And I remember in the very early days of starting to play European Truck Simulator, people would always tell me and Jeff all the time, constantly, consistently, that we should not be skipping gears. That skipping gears is not a good idea. Now that I've got this shifter, right, a real shifter, and it actually has a splitter and the, you know, everything. Okay, fuck you, with your little Toyota Yaris or whatever the hell is in front of me, hitting the brakes for no reason. But now that I have this shifter, I, just for the fun of it, while trying to learn this shifter, decided to go through, from a dead stop, every single gear. It is not a thing that happens. You don't go through every single gear. I've talked to multiple truckers. There's multiple people out there that'll back it up. I don't know why there's even the thought that people would think that you don't skip gears, because there is 18 gears in this truck. You think going through... you can't even shift fast enough with how fast you go through the gears. Literally, when I was shifting through every single gear, by the time I got the next gear engaged, and this was going through high, low, you know, all of them, by the time I got the next gear engaged, it was ready to shift. I would be in that gear for half a second shift, half a second shift, half a second shift. It was just the most non-productive way to shift a truck ever. And sorry, that was a random tangent, but yeah, there's people out there that think you don't split gears, but I'm still trying to work out what gears I like splitting, which ones I like working, but I've also come to the conclusion that the splitter really doesn't, it's not a huge thing, to be 100% honest. I don't think it's a thing that is, like, super, why is that? Okay. It must be going downhill a little bit, I guess, because the brake, the retarder is kicking in, stopping me from speeding away. But yeah, so the splitter going from high-low, it does come in handy, and I do use it, but you don't use it as much as you think you would use it. It's really just mainly going from high-low compared to the splitter. Yeah, it does come in handy, especially if you're cruising, You know, typically when I'm in a city and the speed limit's 30, I'll go into 5th high just because the RPMs are relatively low. I can cruise around. 6 low works pretty well too if you want to get really low RPM. But for the most part, just cruising on the highway, if I'm not in 8 high, which is the last gear that I have, you know, I'm typically in 7 low, something like that, because it's just, I don't, the splitter to go between high-low just isn't used as often as I thought it would be. Or I'm just shifting the truck wrong. But, like I said, I'm not a trucker. I'm a gamer. I'm interested in trucks. Never been able to drive a manual truck. Been able to drive a real truck in real life, which was a great experience, but I've never been able to drive a manual real truck, which unfortunately I would like to do. But I talked to my buddy that drives real trucks, you know, told him I got my shifter, told him about it. He was pretty excited when I told him the concept of it like a month ago when I first ordered it. Actually, let's go low. I told him the concept about it. He seemed pretty interested in it, and then I finally got it, and he was telling me, he was like, I just think it's fascinating that technology has gotten to the point nowadays where you can now shift a truck like you can in real life in a video game. And I said, I know. It's just, it's amazing the amount of stuff that, you know, a little circuit board can do. I mean, a little circuit board and some engineering and some killing the truck because I went into high. Why would I do that? Like I said, I'm still trying to get used to it. I still have these random moments of just like retardedness of not sure what gear I should go into and just accidentally flipping it into low or high or something, or hitting the splitter never really messes you up, but sometimes going high-low, I just will randomly want to hit the switch. I'll hit it without even thinking about what I need to do, and then I'll do something like that. I'll kill the truck, or I'll shift it into low when I'm trying to shift it into like 5th, so I'll shift into 1st. But also the pattern is different just because I'm using the actual layout that they, you know, that CIOS Industries or Technology, or the people that made the SKRS, I think it's CIOS or COIS or something like that. The ones that they recommended to use, how you should set up your shifter, that's how I've set mine up, because it's a real 18-speed layout. So that is also something I'm trying to get used to, is just where gears that were positioned are now in a different position from what I'm used to. So I'm learning it. I'm trying to get together, but trying to get it working. Just trying to, oh god, that was actually my drop-off back there that I literally just drove past because I'm, oh, no. See, that's what I mean. Trying to go into 5th. Can I just flip a U-turn here? This seems like a terrible idea. Okay. We're gonna do it. We're flipping a U-turn. This is not a good idea. God, the reaction of people if they were to see that on the road. Okay, so I had to drop off at this construction site, it seems. Didn't think this drop-off would be a construction site, but it is. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get used to the shifter, trying to get used to the position, and like I said, I'm not a truck driver. I don't know exactly how to shift a truck. I'm still getting used to it. Been practicing floating my gears, you know, shifting without the clutch and everything. That is a lot more difficult than it looks, that's for sure. That takes years of experience, and I have a lot of respect for, well, I have a lot of respect for truckers in the first place. I mean, driving a truck, manual or automatic, is a very big task. I've proven in multiple occasions that even in a video game, it can be difficult, and the person that is not experienced enough can have a very hard time. But to be able to float gears, I mean, that's definitely something that you can tell takes time to learn the process to do. So I'm not quite there yet. Still learning the whole layout and everything, and how I want to go approach, you know, what gears I like shifting. Obviously, the load and the weight and all that is going to dictate a lot of that. But for the most part, just general trucking, just getting something around the same weight. Still trying to figure out what gears I like. you know, what I like to skip to, what the truck feels like it's responding the best to. So, but yeah, for just a very quick video using this, I really enjoy it. I've had it for pretty much, this is the second day I've owned it. It's awesome. It's very, very nice. Like I said, I do plan on making a sort of a review video. I'm not gonna put a number on it or anything like that. It's not gonna be a review of, like, you know, 5 stars or 10 points or nothing like that. It's just gonna be, I'm gonna talk about the product and say what I like and what I might dislike about it. There is one thing I can see that I'll dislike about it, and there's a ton of things that I really like about it. But that's gonna have to wait for that video. This one was just a brief one talking about, you know, my general first impressions on it, on what I think it's done to American Truck Sim, and I think it's transformed it a lot, makes it a lot more entertaining to play the game, a lot more engaged. The inertia level is very high because you're having an actual truck shifter in your hand, which really changes the whole feel to it. So I really like it. The one thing I really want to do is I want to redo my whole wheel stand so I can mount it a little lower to the right, because where it's currently sitting, it's a lot bigger than you would think it is. And sitting where it's at, it's just very, very big, and it's not uncomfortable. It just, I would now that I have the actual shifter, I want it in the correct position. So anyway, we're going to drop off this trailer really quick. 346 miles, 7 hours, 36 minutes, 50 gallons of fuel. We got $8,500 and 468 XP. No. Unfortunately, we're not going to get into level 20 here, but I'm going to be playing this game a lot off camera. So I'll probably get myself into level 20. So next time you guys join me, I will be probably at rank 20 by then. We might go ahead and do some little bit of extra stuff to the Kenworth. Some of you were asking what happened to the bull bars on front. Decided to get rid of them to add some lighting on the front bumper. I might bring that back. A lot of you were a little disappointed to see that gone. I didn't realize that people cared about it so much, so I might go ahead and just bring those bull bars back. But like I said, when I get to rank 20 and I unlock some more stuff for the truck, I'll go ahead and see what looks best. But thanks for watching. Remember that if you're interested in the SKRS shifter, I'm pretty sure production of that will start at some point. Right now they're making all the ones for the Kickstarters and the backers and everything, but if you search, you know, SKRS shifter or CSIO Technologies, you could probably find their website at csio.tech and look into when I'm pretty sure they're accepting pre-orders now. You might not get yours for a little while, but for the most part, you could probably purchase your shifter and get that ready to go, so they'll ship it out to you when it's ready. I highly do recommend it. If you're into American Truck Sim, look into it. It's worth the money. If they're still offering a plug-and-play version, literally bought it. It got here, took 5 minutes to set up, and I was in game driving with it. Very, very simple. So I highly recommend it for the hardcore American Truck Simmers out there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like button. It really does help me out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.